Hi there, everybody. Hopefully today we'll not have the same kind of problems as yesterday. I'm just checking everything, and it would appear that I've got sound. My mic is working. Everything is fine. I just need to turn this down so I don't hear myself twice, and you don't hear it twice also. Um, but what that clearly tells me is that I'm broadcasting, I'm live, and you can hear me. So if you're coming in online and you can see what's going on. Say hello. Let's have a chat. Let's see what's going on. Um, one of the things I was saying, one of the things I was talking about yesterday was actually, and I'm not even sure people heard it yesterday, so I may go over it briefly again. But one of the things I was talking about yesterday was how some people seem to have no end of problems with their simulator. Um, and what I was saying was it was because of things like having too much in there. And so very quickly, let's get back to here. And I was talking about the plugins and how many plugins people have. And this is my plugin folder, and I think I've got not that many. I've pared it right down as much as I possibly could. And one of the major problems I had yesterday, and we'll do this very quickly, uh, what wasn't particularly related to plugins, although I thought it was, and it took me a couple of days to troubleshoot it. But what it was related to was SkyMax Pro, and SkyMax Pro, my favorite program for weather. Hang on, let me just get it up here. SkyMax Pro will configure some clouds. What had gone wrong with SkyMax Pro was that a file was missing or corrupted, and that was producing that at night the ground would be in night, but the sky would be grey like this, as if it was still light. So there was a missing file, or there was a missing file or a corrupted file. And it took me a while to figure it out. And I only figured it out because through a process of elimination. I was using Sherlock Holmes's idea that after eliminating all probabilities, whatever remains, how imponderable and impossible, then it can only be that. So I thought, well, let's have a look here and see where we go. And I ended up reinstalling SkyMax Pro. I deleted it and I reinstalled it, and it fixed it immediately. So my nighttime came back. So sometimes you have to just kind of really mess around, and if sometimes you can't find out what it is, you just got to go to the seemingly impossible. And I thought that maybe SkyMax Pro wouldn't be a problem, but it was. So that was one thing that I sorted out yesterday. The other thing was as I was saying, was the problem with sound, and for some reason I don't know why, and I don't know what caused it. But when I installed something, it knocked out my mic, and this persisted throughout the day because I was in a Facebook conversation with a friend of mine online, so he was doing Facebook, and I could hear him, but he couldn't hear me, and which was rather embarrassing. And so eventually what happened was I called him using my phone and used Facebook on my phone, and we had a very long conversation. So things going wrong when you really don't want them to, and they do. Now I have turned down the desktop audio because this aircraft is quite loud, but I would like you to hear it, so I'll just turn it up a little bit. And if you're around, let me know if you can hear it, and me, more importantly. That's the main thing. I hope you can hear me both. Hear me and the aircraft. This is the IXG 737, possibly one of the best aircraft on X-Plane. I simply love it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, sounds perfect, and flies really well. Just ignore those views. They're They're what we call external shots. Um, if you're wondering how I've managed to do this scrolling across the cockpit here, that is achieved with X camera. You actually set up the parameters in X camera and it will do these kind of scrolling shots for you however you want. I did loads of these when I was for reviews and what have you. I think this is another one. Yeah. So and this is live. This is in the aircraft, so it really shows you what X-Plane can do. In terms of how it can look. Everything's still in focus. Absolutely staggeringly beautiful. Anyway, I thought this morning, after all the problems of yesterday, that I would just do a quick flight. So engines are running. I just need to sort out my FMC. I probably need to get the position lights on. It's on, so that's okay, just for the time being. A friend of mine said to me the other day, he said, your flows are really strange, and maybe they are. Maybe I don't do them correctly or not, but, hey ho. I've never said that I was a professional pilot. So, anyway, let's sort out the FMC and get to a decent view here. I'm not going to fly anywhere, I'm not going to go bonkers with this. The thing I like about the IXEG 737 is it does have this kind of bit of a delay. Oh, hang on, clear that. On the FMC, which is the same as in real world. A lot of people don't realise that the FMC in the real world does have that bit of a delay when putting something in. See, we'll go to Manchester. This is a route I know very quickly, so I'm not messing around. I can just write this in here very, very quickly indeed. So Brecon, that one. November 6 clear. November 864. Come to Monty. That's all we need for that. Activate. Okay. We'll put the departure in. The departure from Cardiff is on runway 30. So it's a Brecon 1 Alpha departure, as you can see there. Execute, and we'll do the arrival into Manchester. So it's going to be a Mercy 1 Alpha arrival, which will be ILS 23 right. There we go. We won't bother with the transition. Okay, so in it now I need to pick up some data from FSGRW, so we'll bring this over here. So here's FSGRW, but at the moment cruise, we're going to go to 180 on the cruise. Okay, execute that. Sorry to put in transition altitude, which is wrong, so 6,000 feet for transition. There, yep. We need outside air temperature at flight level 180 today. 180 is going to show 249 at 65 knots. So sorry, where am I? 249 at 65. That's 249/65. That's upper wind. So that's our cruise wind. Whoops. Temperature outside is going to be -12. know where that came from. Okay. Gross weight and fuel. I'm not quite sure how much fuel I've got on board. Maybe I need to check that. Ground services. Zero fuel weight is 82 point. Oh, let's randomize that a minute. So my gross weight is 99.7. 99. Whoops, come on, 99.7. Fuel is 17. It's way too much, but we'll put in 15. Reserves of 2. Reserves of 2. Come on, there we go. Execute that. Cost index of 20. That'll do. I'm just looking for my COG 9.4, elevated trim 5.6. That's fine. The M1 limit is 45 degrees. Take off. Flaps 5. There we go. V1, V2, and VR. Next page. Runway, wind. Back to here. The wind at Cardiff is 260 at 12 knots. 2. Come on. 2. 6 0 slash at 12, and I think that is about it. That's about as much as I need to do. I could put it all over here as well, but no really need to do that. Legs, yeah, that's good. It's looking good. All right. There you can see the route there. It's ages since I've flown this plane. Need to get down on the pedestal, because I want a map. Oops. I want the map view. Hang on. Come on. I want that view there, and we can have plan view there. Okay, so map there, plan on the other side. There. Alright. So altitude is going to be 6,000 feet on departure. Indicated airspeed, we'll put that at around about 180. And heading will be 301. 301. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so 3 people watching. Any questions? Say hello, for goodness sake. Say hello. I'll give you a shout out. See who's here. I don't know who's here. But 2 cameras today. So I got this camera here and this camera here. I need to figure out a better place for this camera. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll put it somewhere one day. But, so 2 cameras, because I've got 2 monitors. I've got my main monitor here in front of me, which is a 32-inch monitor, and then this on the left here is just a 24-inch monitor, which I keep all my streaming stuff on, so I can see what's going on. There you have it. Okay, I think we're almost good to go. So it's probably a good time to start the engines. The APU is running. So let's have a look. Ground services, did I have? I don't need a ground power unit. I don't need air supply because we're on APU. APU's running. Okay. It is running. What am I doing? There we go. It was running. Let's get it back up. on now, hopefully, and I haven't lost anything again. Oh no, I sold it down. Right, let's connect ground and air power. Now it's coming back on. Should always leave switches alone, don't play with anything. Right. Right, everything's come back. Whew. That was lucky. Let's start in engine 1. See, engine 1's coming up. Nicely done. Starting engine 2. Okay, there we are. That's good. Everything's nominal. Brilliant. Okay, I think we can make a move. Let's just get this back up to 180. There we go. Excuse me. We don't need pushback. Put strobe on, wing lights on, wheel well, anti-collision, That's inoperative. And taxi lights. Release that. And we're on idle. We're not actually, I haven't used the throttle at all here. So we'll go down to runway 30. So, sort out flaps. Put the flight director on. Spoilers. Brakes to RTO. Whoops. I'm at full idle here and moving quite nicely at a good rate of knots. Just touch the brakes a little bit. Everything's looking good. Alright. Whoops. I'd really like to know who the three people are who are watching, or maybe two. I'm not quite sure because I'm monitoring YouTube as well. Say hello, whether you're in work, where you are in the world, and here we are. I'm not flying this online. I really should have done, actually. I could have flown this online, but as I wanted to test a couple of things, check out a couple of things, I thought I'd leave it. Whoops. Okay. Spoilers on, flaps at 5 rather. We'll just check that. Yeah, flaps 5. We're good. Everything's good. Everything looks nominal for flight. Okay. Let's get ourselves on the runway. I can't see anybody coming down. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. And we was talking about flight simulation and how only a few years ago, or it seems like a few years ago, we used to fly with 2D cockpits. None of this 3D stuff, just 2D cockpits. Which is mind-boggling, actually, to see how far flight simulation has come. Okay. On the runway. Let's just get on the sensor line. Alright, here we go. Flight director's on, auto throttle, make gauge command 1. Here we go. Engine stable, 40%. I think I might not have set the trim. Nose wheel steering until airspeed is active. Here we go. V1. Rotate. Gear up. Auto throttle on. B nerve. L nerve. And there we leave a very misty South Wales and Cardiff. I just realised I didn't put my landing lights on for takeoff. Never mind. Oh, look at that weather. Flaps up. Spoiler disengaged. Beginning the turn. (3,800 feet), beginning the turn. High ves. Yep, it's a little bit foggy and grey here at Cardiff in the real world as well. It's exactly what it's like out the window. Hi Richard, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm going to turn down the aircraft volume a little bit because it does sound extremely loud externally. So we'll turn that down a little bit so you can hear me. That's better, isn't it? It's not so loud now. Still loud there. Yeah, we're just climbing above the cloud now. It's not too dense. It's just a little bit foggy and misty around as we leave Cardiff for Manchester. Let's just lock the come on. Lock the undercarriage. Yeah, that's locked. And there we have it. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful plane, Vez. It's one of the best in X-Plane. And I'm trying to remember how old the IXEG is now. It must be at least 4 years old. It's not beer, it's squash. Yeah, it must be at least 4 years old, I'd guess. But yeah, it's truly, it is a magnificent aircraft. There's no two ways about it. It's just absolutely brilliant. So there we are, en route to Brecon. Let's just extend the range a little bit. Whoops. Come on. There we go, extend the range out to about 40 miles. Look at that little bit of shaking there. Absolutely superb. It's a short flight up to Manchester, so I just need to go up to 180. Okay. Aircraft's climbing to flight level 150. Will be there shortly. 180, sorry. Hello Peter, how are you? Too early for beer. Yeah, maybe. How are you, Peter? I'm just going up to Manchester. And the inevitable question, what do I think of MFSS? Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay. And we'll have a conversation about this. What do I think of Microsoft Flight Simulator? Okay, well, first things first, I refuse to call it Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 because that was just a construct of social media. It's not called 2020, it's just Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let me straight away tell you that I think it looks amazing. Okay, it does look amazing. Although, and I've done a lot of flying in the real world. I've flown to the Caribbean, I've flown to the Far East, I've been to China, I've been to India, I've been to America, I've flown all over. I've done a lot of flying in the real world, and I have never seen clouds look the way the clouds look in MFS. I'm just going to call it MFS. I've never seen clouds look that pretty in the real world. Yes, you'll see some cumulus nimbus sometimes, but once you get once you get above the cloud, it's just kind of flat grey. You might see some structure to the clouds, but you're never going to see clouds looking the way they look in MFSS. But they do look fantastic, and the photo scenery looks fantastic if you're in a part of the world that has been well treated. Okay, some parts of the UK, like you fly over Cardiff in the UK, and it doesn't look like Cardiff. I mean, geographically, the land looks like Cardiff, but Cardiff doesn't look like Cardiff. Although one person, he did do the Cardiff city scenery. I don't know how you do it. You do it in Bing and something, or Google Earth 3D, and transport it in. I don't know how it's done, but it is done, and the results can look good. A guy did Cardiff. It looks alright apart from the colour, because it was like all the buildings like had a pink to it, pink glow. He said he was going to change that, but whether he ever did, I don't know. So it looks fantastic. Some parts of the world look amazing, other parts don't look so good. I mean, I've flown Snowdon, and I didn't think Snowdonia in North Wales looked particularly hilly. In fact, to me, it looked rather flat. But all of that notwithstanding, there are no decent aircraft for it. The default aircraft are quite honestly laughable. Hang on, I've got a warning horn here. Or have I? Let me have a listen. I have got a warning horn. Let me just check. I hate it when you get warning horns and you don't know what it's for. Am I over speed? No, I'm not over speed. Flaps are up. Oh. What's going on here? altitude isn't set. Pressure panel. Yeah, it is. I've got it on open. On auto. Out there. Come on. You son of a gun. Cannot get the cabin altitude up. It's not for playing, is it? Here. Can't get it up. Where's that horn warning switch? Zoom in, make it easier. I'm zooming in and it's not making it any easier. I just cannot get the altitude up. It'll go down, but it won't go up. That's it, won't go any higher than that. Cabin altitude. Altitude, cabin flight, so... Oh, I've never had this problem before. So that should be cabin altitude at flight levels. So I'm going to 180, cabin altitude should be -3 or 3. I've never had this before. got it, then set the far right knob back to order. No, I just need to find the home warning switch now, which is... It's that a long time since I've flown this, but I've never had this problem before. They're probably all dead, that's why. Thank goodness for that. Go. That was stressful. That was extremely stressful. Anyway, sorted it. Yeah, Airbus automatic pressurization. That's true. Right, let me turn this back down again now, as it's driving me a bit mad at the moment. There we go. Turn that down to a reasonable setting. Right, so let's get back to MFS, Microsoft Flight Simulator. As I say, I think it looks brilliant, but for me, it ended up being no more than a sightseeing application. And I hate to say that, but and I've taken it off because I had it for £1 through my Game Pass, just £1. And I hate to say that about it being just a sightseeing application. Fantastic. Anywhere between 2,000 and 6,000 feet looks brilliant. The scenery looks fantastic. But, of course, you then get into situations like I want to fly, and you can't really fly with it. It's just not good enough to fly, in my sense. It's great for VFR, and that is about it. It really is. It's fantastic for VFR, but that's where it ends, as far as I'm concerned. There are things about it that are just absolutely superb, but personally, not for me. Anyway, enough of that. I need to have a look at a couple of things here. So approach mode. I think let's see. We'll go for flap 30. Yeah, and ILS is 10950. Get back in here. 10950. Okay. And the course will be 2-3. Of course, you don't have to worry about any of this with the Airbus. Just does it for you, doesn't it? Automatic. Oh, come on, man alive. Right, there we go. Back to the legs. We'll be starting our top of descent quite soon. top of descent, a couple of miles. Here we go then. So Bakazato flies only GA using MFS, so VFR flying. String Bean, he ditched X-Plane for Flight Simulator. Give it time, it's barely 3 months old. True enough, but you're a brave man to ditch X-Plane. I guess you're only flying VFR at the moment. The 787 is broken during landing as you get no pitch control at low speeds. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a few years before it comes anywhere near as to what it should be. I think it will be a few years, but as soon as it does, it will be a really good looking aircraft, without a doubt. A simulator. It looks fantastic. You cannot. There's anybody who says it doesn't, then there's something wrong with them and their eyes. It does look fantastic, but as a serious simulator at the moment, for me, not just yet. And I hate to, people think that I'm being nasty and horrible. I'm not. Certainly not. It's just my personal opinion. And that's, there's not an awful lot more I can say, but But I was talking to somebody, this was the point that I was going on to. I was talking to somebody, and they was telling me things about it, about the simulator that I had no idea of. I didn't know anything about. Things like, if you go to a jungle and you walk through the jungle, you hear, the environments and the wildlife, and as you walk away from the beach, the sound of the waves diminish, kind of thing. And there's all sorts of other stuff on there that he was telling me about, and I have to say, I was mightily impressed with some of the things that he was telling me about, which I had not seen, and so therefore, in a sense, I really, I need to give it another go. I really do. I need to, re-download it and have a look. Will I buy it? No. Can I see myself giving up X-Plane? No. I got to be honest. For me, this is the simulator for me to have, and I've invested a lot of time, and I've invested a lot of money in this, and it's oh, hang on, Richard here. I spent a lot of time in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I deleted XP11. Now I have deleted Flight Simulator and gone back to XP11. Well, it says it all. Although String Bean clearly thinks that you might be a bit premature. Each to their own, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter what you fly, as long as you fly. And I've said this time and time again, it really doesn't matter what you fly, as long as you fly. And if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. It really is all that matters. As long as you enjoy it, then that is it. It really is. And I enjoy flying this, and others enjoy. Some people enjoy. I know somebody who's still on the 2004 floor. 2004. And there are people who are on Flight Simulator FS95 and still enjoying it. And then there's some people who fly Aerofly. And yeah, it doesn't matter what you fly, as long as you fly and you enjoy it. And if you get out of it what you want, And for me, there's no greater buzz than seeing that wing drop and the shadow creeping along the wing. I just love that. Yeah, yeah, I know somebody who flies FS 2004. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the other thing that I don't like, and maybe string bean, is it? Yep. String bean might be able to help us. I mean, I think the camera system in FS is absolutely shocking. It really is. It is the worst thing. I've never come across a more messed up camera system in all my life. How long till touchdown? Not very long. Uh, how many miles? I haven't got many miles to go. 26, 28. 28 nautical miles. Uh, final turn is coming up for approach. I'm descending down to 3,500 feet for capture. I hope. Fingers crossed. So yeah, we're below 7,000 feet, so we need to get the landing lights on. Wing lights. So not very long now. In fact, what I want to do is, if I can find the right thing, which is here, turn that down to 10 miles, and I can see better on there. Yeah, descended nicely. Speed is coming down. I haven't got stage of flap out yet. Don't need it yet. A long way off yet. Clunky is beyond measure. And there's other things like in that external view, the HUD that comes up around screen. Now I know you can get rid of that, and I did manage to get rid of that in outside view, but it takes so much digging. There's no manual for it. There's no manual for it at all. Local QNH is, let's see, local QNH is 1012. And I've forgotten where we do the QNH. There we go. 1012. I mean, I like this aircraft because it's a little bit old school, isn't it? But it can bite you on the bum if you're not careful. We'll put it in over there. 1012. We're coming into cloud now. 4,000 feet. We're over the Saddleworth Moor and what have you, out towards Oldham and string bean. I never said I didn't like it. I like it. It's just not for me. And I said straight at the beginning, it looks amazing. No two ways about it. Okay, so flap one. Oops. And spoilers, there we go. And as you can see, we've got beautiful Manchester weather. It's beginning to rain. We're a little bit offset here. You should be coming in straight in. We're a little bit offset. Localizer approach. Oh, we've got a bit of a glitch here. I think we might have to go around. So, that was strange, wasn't it? So, missed approach. Didn't actually capture for some reason. My aircraft. Yeah, maybe Black Knight, but it should have captured the ILS, and it didn't for some reason. It was slightly off center. Right, we'll try again then. That approach was just not right in the FMC. Now that I look at it, not right at all. Don't know what happened there. But, no worries. Now, if this was an Airbus, I'd really be struggling to hand fly it. At least with a Boeing, I can hand fly them to a degree. What? Yes? I'm here. Yeah, I'll come down in a minute. And another stream interrupted. Oops. Right. Hopefully the gods are with me. We'll get this down. It's a little bit off centre line now. Be nice if we could see the runway.
Glide slow. 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 Glide slow.
Certainly not visual conditions, that's for sure.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Approaching 2, 3, right.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
There it is.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
Oh, Richard, thank you very much.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Slide slow. Slide slow. Slide slow. Slide slow.
Yeah, you hear it, String Bean. She's been out walking with the dog, so she's coming.
300.
300 feet. Oh, frame rates have been hammered.
Minimum. 100. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. 20. 10.
Whoops, daisy, here we go. Oof. And runway clear. Whoa, talk about pressure. And there's two sceneries here by the looks of it. You thought, but we didn't. We didn't die, that's the main thing. Thank you, Black Knight. It was a nice landing, seeing it was hand flown. Right, well, as you know, my wife has just come in, so the stream is interrupted by her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect here. The back is a lot better now, by the way, thankfully. It was painful last week. So Richard, thank you for the super sub. That's brilliant. It all helps. I was a little bit surprised when I looked up and saw that, but thank you very much indeed. Well appreciated. Very kind of you. Right, I'm going to stop here and then go and see what's happening with my wet dog. I'll just do a bit of flight configuration here. We'll change location, customize, and we'll go there. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. You never know. So we'll just have a quick pause whilst that is reloading, okay? I'll be back.